Hey, good morning, YouTube. It is Saturday, the 12th of July. I'm here with Stephen and Joseph. Say hi, Joseph. Hey. And we're on our way to dig up the wonderful lizard of bones that I found yesterday. So we're going to go and see how much is there and how much we can get out. It's kind of a fairly cool morning for July, so we're optimistic about getting as much bone out as quick as we can. Let's go for it. Okay, so we just got here and we've marked all the visible bone. These two pieces I found yesterday. Here's a big bone that I didn't even realize was a bone, but it is. And then there's the three in a row, and there's another little piece over there that I missed. And then, stepping gingerly around, we have two vertebrae right here, one vertebrae right here, and the end of the bone sticking up right there. So there's like 11 exposed pieces of bone here. So now we're going to start moving away all rocks that are not bone, and then we're going to start kind of leveling this down to see what else might be hidden. Okay, we're cleaning away the junk rock.
Bone right there.
And we found quite a bit. This is a big bone that I didn't even see yesterday. I mean, I saw it, I thought it was a rock, but it goes a ways in there, and there's another vertebrae on the other side of it. So we're just moving the shale out of the way very carefully.
Very carefully.
Okay, I don't know how plainly you can make it out, but I've got a rib going this way and another rib going across here towards this vertebrae. And this piece of bone over here is huge. There's a lot of bone between those three red picks right there. All right, so Joseph has just uncovered another rib right above these two vertebrae. I've got a full rib going here, and we're about to see what this great big hunk of bone is here in a minute. This is the hard part about doing a dig. Your instinct is to uncover the dang bones, but you have to go slowly.
Yeah. Y'all be patient with what I could do.
Okay, we just uncovered the ball of another big vertebrae about a foot down from Joseph's rib. Looks like his head is up there by Stephen's knife. And there's the skull elements and vertebrae coming down this way.
Oh, give me the other ones here. It looks like.
So this is the first piece we're actually removing. Come way under it, Joseph, and see, I've already got it loose. Careful, don't grab it right there. That's bone.
Oh, that's bone.
That's the end of the neural.
Yeah. Oh. And there's nothing under it. That's good.
Ooh, that's scary right there. Let's go right there. See if you can get the rest of that back edge.
There we go.
I don't know that there is any more. Wait, let's see. Is that? I can't tell if that's bone or not.
Just set it on top. We'll take it. We're taking everything.
Okay, I think that was our first removal.
Okay.
And I don't think there's anything under it. And we wrap it, and then wrap it again. All right, so we just pulled out the second tail vertebrae found. This was definitely a tail vertebrae, and it came out with enough of the matrix off of it that we could see the chevron bone is attached. It's not separate, it's not socketed. So this is not Tylosaurus, it's not Platycarpine. It's not Globidens, we know that because of the tooth we found. So possible Halosaurine or Mosasaur. So we removed 2 vertebrae. Looking at this, Stephen thinks it's jugal, which is the back of a lower jaw, and this is the splenial, which is the bottom side of the lower jaw, and there's a cervical vert in between. And another piece of bone sticking out from under the cervical vert. There's a lot of bone right here. We're probably going to plaster jacket this whole stretch right here because this is skull element, this is important. And then we still got 3 pieces of bone out here in the flat that we haven't touched yet. And right there is the divot where my little tooth came from that actually started this whole thing. Actually 4 pieces of bone down here.
Plaster jack.
Okay, I just pulled this. This is actually the first bone I spotted. And it is the wrist. And then right next to it here, this was the face-up one that I actually tried to flip with my stick and it didn't move. That actually connects in here somewhere. And there's another bone right here, and I'm digging in between to see if there's any more. And boy, you can really see here this big bone beginning to take shape. So we pulled a vert and a rib right here. We've got 3 more verts right here. Steve just uncovered this one. I just uncovered this rib. And then right here we've got a cervical. We've got the quadrate, possibly the other quadrate here. We got a lot of bone in this pile, but we're going to try and plaster jacket this whole kind of triangular section right here. Okay, so we just uncovered this piece, which is what that was attached to. Oh, well, you can see it, but anyway. So that's a complete bone there that we can wrap, and we've even got this little piece that comes off of it. So whatever that is, that's now complete. Well, it's 11 o'clock. We're working on our pedestal. This section has a lot of skull elements in it. And then we may have to do a second pedestal there next to Stephen to plaster jacket because there's about 5 or 6 vertebrae all up in there right between Stephen and Joseph. It's coming along. We are slowly isolating the block that contains the skull elements that we're going to try to plaster jacket to get out. What we're running into is this cluster of vertebrae over here is kind of in our way. So I think we're going to try to pop these vertebrae out in big slabs, and get out maybe 2 or 3 of them at once and get the vertebrae out of our way and then focus exclusively on the big block here. Okay, I thought that this was a vertebrae, but this is an upper arm paddle bone. This is like the top of the arm. That is totally cool. I've never found one of these. So we dug out all 5 vertebrae that were right in here. There were 4 we could see, and we popped out another one as we were digging. What we have left is this block of bone right here. We want to plaster jacket it. To be honest, it's noon. We're all fading fast, and that would be a heck of a heavy plaster jacket to tote back to the car. So we're debating whether to try to piecemeal the bones out, cover it and leave it for tomorrow, or what. So we're picking the pile apart and pulling individual bones instead of trying to do the plaster jacket. It's just too hard. So that came from right here. It was sitting on top of this little rib, that bone that he's holding.
I'll keep on working.
All right, we were hoping it was here. This is the maxilla. This is what we've been looking for. Okay. Toothies.
All right, now we.
Whew. Okay, we dug out everything except the one block with all the skull elements in it. We've covered it up. We're just going to have to come back tomorrow. I don't normally get out on Sundays, but we're done. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and even though it's an exceptionally mild day for July, it's still freaking hot. Yep. So we're going to come back down here tomorrow and try to get the rest. All right, YouTube, it's time for another random historical fact of the day. When President Reagan was shot in March of 1981. He had only been in office for a couple of months at the time, and it really was a shock to the nation. He was very seriously injured. The bullet stopped an inch from his heart, and doctors later said if he'd been 5 minutes later getting to the emergency room, they might not have been able to save him. And yet, throughout it all, he maintained his trademark sense of humor. First Lady Nancy Reagan was close enough to the hospital that she was there when they wheeled him in to the emergency trauma care unit, and she ran up to him and took him by the hand, and he looked up at her and said, "Honey, I forgot to duck." And as they were wheeling him in for surgery and started cutting his clothes away, they went to give him the anesthesia. He put his hand up, and the doctor said, "What is it, Mr. President?" And Reagan looked him in the eye and said, "Please tell me you're a Republican." The doctor said, "Mr. President, today we're all Republicans." But that, for those who weren't around in the 80s, that's why even those who opposed Reagan politically never really disliked him, because he was just a man of such grace and wit and humor and decency. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little random factoid, and now on to another adventure, right?